Hey guys, how's it going today? I've got some stuff for you today. I'm going to go through and do several videos hopefully today and edit them as I can. I got some new tools for Christmas, so kind of wanted to go through them and we're going to kind of do one video per tool. I think is the best way to do it on here. Got some new Ridgid tools that I want to talk about, some of the pros and cons, and I'm going to start out with this Ridgid Gen 5X brushless reciprocating saw. So, and this is going to be the kit. So I'm going to talk about some of the different kits. So stick around, check it out. Alright, so I was in desperate need of a reciprocating saw upgrade, and I was going to buy the Gen 5 Ridgid non-brushless, the brushed motor reciprocating saw, and I heard that the brushless one was coming out, so I decided to wait. And then after I waited for a while, I kind of wanted to wait till it came out in a kit, and I've talked about this in my videos before, but when you buy the tools, the batteries and kits and everything all together, you get the limited, service agreement or whatever it is on the batteries themselves. So I wanted to do that, and plus this kit, I have to annotate the prices, but this kit wasn't much more than the actual tool itself. So certain times of year, a lot of times around Christmas time, they'll come out with some new kits. So I would take a look out for those. This one, as far as I know, is currently still available at Home Depot. I think you have to get it online though. You have to go to homedepot.com. So anyway, let's get into it. So this saw, I haven't used it a whole lot yet. So in the future, I think I'm going to do kind of a comparison between it and a couple others. However, right off the bat, I can tell there's some differences. I'll show you first off what it's replacing. Don't laugh. This is what I'm replacing. Like I said, I was in desperate need of an upgrade. Getting rid of all the Ryobi stuff and going with something a little higher quality, which is Ridgid. That being said, let's dive into this. A few things right off the bat that I like. Number one, I mean, this is substantially heavier than the Ryobi that I'm replacing, but it still feels good. It actually has a much better feeling in hand. One of the things that I didn't like, one of several things that I didn't like about the Ryobi, I'll show you here. I kind of did a little makeshift deal to lock this in place. This is their safety, and you had to push this every time you wanted to pull the trigger, and it just got so annoying that I just threw a screw in there to keep it in an open position. So that was one of the things I didn't like about the Ryobi, which I'm glad to see that they addressed in this Ridgid model. And the lock, as you can see, stays in position, so you don't have to hold it in order to pull the trigger. So that's nice. Already there, I don't have to do a modification. The other thing I notice is there's a lot more ventilation on the Ridgid. A couple other features that I really like are the shoe is adjustable on this, and not only adjustable but very easily adjustable, both for length and I believe you can tilt it by. Yeah, let me show you. You can tilt it with this here. You push this out, I believe, or maybe you push it in. There you go. You push it in. And it's a three-positioned, you have three positions you can kind of lock it into, which is pretty cool. I'll leave it in the centered position, which is where I'll use it most often. Also, there's a light. You can see the light in there. And initially, I thought maybe the light was going to be, like the shoe was going to be in the way of the light. However, it does light things up really well. Another thing I like is I like the locking mechanism here. Let me grab a blade. So it's just a really nice secure lock. I say that and then I don't get it all the way in there. So once it's in, it's just a nice positive lock in there. It's really easy to get to. It is kind of a two-handed operation, which all of them are. The Ryobi was this kind of hokey deal here where you pulled up on this, which doesn't seem so bad, but if you look inside, all it is it's pushing up on a lever to turn that a quarter turn. The similar kind of collar on the inside, and this is all plastic. So I think that's clearly going to be a better way to go. Also, because the You can see that this setup is a little more open. I feel like you're not going to get as much gunk and stuff in there. You can see this is pretty dirty. One of my favorite uses for these reciprocating saws, you'll notice I pulled out a pruning blade. I used to take, like, for when I got Christmas trees, we'd go and I would take a small chainsaw, and which worked great, but it's more cumbersome, and you know, you have to bring bar oil and mix fuel and everything. But once I discovered these pruning blades, I literally would just take this reciprocating saw and a battery, and it would just zip through the trees. Now the Ryobi, you know, it took quite a bit longer than the chainsaw, so you kind of had to work out a little bit more. The Ridgid, I'm hoping for a much better, quicker cut. Also, the Ridgid has an orbital mode, which just makes for a little more aggressive cutting. Here's the kit. I'll just show you briefly what it included. This battery on here is not included in the kit. It does include 2 of them, but I just threw that on because it was already charged. These 2 are not yet charged. It includes 2 4 amp hour batteries. So these are their hyper lithium high capacity batteries. And it does include their advanced Gen 5 charger, which is nice. It kind of has a troubleshooting mode. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. Here you have the Ridgid Gen 5X brushless reciprocating saw. From what I see so far, just an unboxing, I love what I'm seeing. And again, I think in the near future we're going to do kind of a shootout with the ones that I've got. Maybe I'll try to see if I can get some others, maybe a DeWalt and maybe the non-brushless version of the Ridgid if I can get my hands on it, and the Milwaukee, and obviously we'll use this old Ryobi, even though this is several gens old for Ryobi anyway, so I'm not sure how helpful that'll be. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.